Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Asian Psycho, and I'm going to be doing the 13th episode, or 13th chapter, I always screw that word up, on the Exploring the Arsenal series with me, Asian Psycho, aka Toast Timer 98, and the next episode, or this episode rather, will be featuring the first gun in the lineup of the M14 family, the M14. So, hope you guys will enjoy this next chapter, because it's going to be quite long, and right off the bat, I'd like to say that if anyone has the M14 Classic or the M14 EPR, I would love it if you guys could help me in getting gameplay with them. Please feel free to PM me and so that we can work something out. And if you guys do decide to help me, and whoever does this, whoever ends up eventually helping me in the end, will be shouted out appropriately in the video that I actually review them. So once again, guys, I do need help in getting the M14 Classic and the M14 EBR. Now, they are both NX rare, so I know they're pretty tough to come by, but if any of you guys do have either of these weapons, I would love it if you guys could help me and kind of lend me your accounts for a bit so that I can get some gameplay with them. So with that said, let's get right started into the M14 review. Now, the M14 family, I'd like to point out right now, is the only family of assault rifles that, or actually, yeah, of assault rifles in this entire game that is capable, or statistically capable, of pulling off two-shot kills. I would like to mention, though, that the M14 and the M14 SE are rarely two-shot kills. They are only two-shot kills if you shoot someone in the back, or if you're really lucky, or if you're standing like literally like in front of the faces. Then a two-shot kill is viable. But though most of the time, practically speaking, you're going to be looking at a very, very strong three-shot kill. So this is unnecessary to say, but if you do manage to put two bullets of an M14 into your enemy at any range, literally one shot of anything or one touch of anything will finish that guy off if you don't kill them outright. So the damage on the M14 is very, very strong. It's at a 50 damage. Nexon kind of fucked it up a little bit, as they usually do. It's more like around like 49-ish, 49 or 48. But Nexon says it's at 50, so I won't really dispute that any longer. Just know that it's either a very strong 3-shot kill or a very weak 2-shot kill, which is still really good. Now the portability, it's kind of lacking in the for the M14. It's only at a 55. That's to be expected because the M14 is technically in real life a battle rifle. It's not really called an assault rifle, but because of the lack of battle rifles in modern day warfare, Combat Arms really had no choice but to categorize it as an assault rifle, because I mean, if you're just gonna give this gun a class of its own, it's kind of unfair, you know. So for the time being, it's classified as an assault rifle instead of a battle rifle. But that's part of the reason why its portability is so slow, and I fail right there with my own nade. So yeah, portability is not the best thing in the world. In fact, I think it's one of the slowest slower assault rifles in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe it's one of the slowest. I can't think of any other assault rifle off the top of my head right now that has an even lower portability than the M14. But practically speaking, it's not really that heavy. Probably Nexon fucked up with its stats again. It is pretty heavy, but it's not like heavy as like say other weapons like machine gun or something like that. But you still can definitely feel that it's pretty slow for an assault rifle. Moving on to the rate of fire. Its rate of fire is clocked at 50. Now, because I did mention it is a battle rifle, it does shoot very slowly, understandably so. This is to kind of balance out the fact that it has such a strong damage. So it's a very high damage but low rate of fire weapon. It's on the kind of the more the far extreme spectrum of assault rifle types. Let's say if we were to make the spectrum right now, on the left side of the spectrum would be like the really fast firing but low damage assault rifles, and on the far right side of the spectrum we would have the heavy hitting but low rate of fire assault rifles. The M14 would pretty much be all the way at the right side. So if you guys can picture that, if you guys can understand what I'm trying to say here, so. Anyways, the rate of fire is very slow, so yeah, you guys should. It's not the best weapon, obviously, for spraying and praying, so gotta be careful of that. Moving on to the accuracy, its accuracy is a very high 90, obviously because it's a battle rifle. Battle rifles tend to be very accurate over range, so yeah, accuracy is something you guys will probably enjoy, because here's the thing about the accuracy on the M14. As you guys can see in the gameplay here, I've got the TA3 ACOG scope on it. Now, the M14's accuracy at range is debatable, because even though it is a battle rifle, even though it does have 90 accuracy, the recoil in scope is so big that after your third or fourth shot, if you go on full auto, your shots tend not to go where your scope is aiming at. So that's just a little bit of warning there if you guys do use that 14 and go full auto while scoped in. If you guys find that you're not hitting your targets as accurately as you want to, that's probably why, so be warned. So it is supposedly very accurate. I believe the first shot of the M14 will almost always hit its mark, but after that, if you go full auto, then God help you, God help you where you, where the bullet spreads will go. So that's that. Moving on to recoil. The recoil on the M14 is at a 70, so it's pretty high. So actually, let's get to that. Even though it is supposedly a low rate of fire but heavier hitting assault rifle, the recoil is very big on the M14. I think it has a starting spread of the same as the G36, and when you fire that thing, even on full auto, even with a low, like an extremely low rate of fire at 50, each bullet recoil spread is so large that the slow rate of fire can't negate the fact that the recoil spread just spreads out so large, so hugely. I mean, I think it's even bigger than the AK-47, if you guys can imagine that. So yeah, do be careful when you're trying to spray with this thing. It is pretty accurate though, in that the bullets tend to center in the middle of their spread, but obviously the spread can go anywhere, so I mean, you can't really take my word for that. So be warned, the recoil spread and the recoil itself are very, very big, and the low rate of fire isn't going to help you negate that. Though I would like to mention that, as you guys could see there while I was scoping in while taking shots with the M14, the in-scope recoil is actually very manageable, because all it does is just go straight up and down. It will, because of its low rate of fire, it will never bounce off to the side or diagonally or none of that shit. It'll just go straight up and down, and that's one of the main, one of the best features about the M14. When you're using an M14, make sure you almost always have a scope on this, preferably a TA3 ACOG, because that means that you can use its accuracy to its maximum potential. But iTech works fine too. I've never really used the iTech on the M14 before, so I don't know how it really works out, but I figure it'll work out just fine, for some of you guys at least. So yeah, and let's see, moving on to recoil controllability. Like I said, the recoil spread is going to be huge on the M14, so recoil controllability is going to be through the roof, like just batshit hard. So if I don't even think you should even try to control the recoil on the M14. It's just gonna be so out of hand. So I mean, if you guys want to try to, I mean, you can kind of single fire with it, because the M14 does come with the default single fire option as well as full auto. So I mean, you could try controlling your recoil, but then again, a single fire does not decrease your starting spread at all. So keep that in mind. Moving on to the Tapfire Ability, it really doesn't need a Tapfire Ability, because even if you go full auto with your while scoped in, it'll pretty much stay around that same place all the time. So you don't really need to worry about the Tapfire Ability. And besides, due to its low rate of fire, I believe it's really hard to Tapfire with that thing anyway. So why bother? Moving on to the sprint drawback. The sprint drawback for the M14 is average, pretty much standard. Though for the draw speed, the animation itself is very fluid and fast, but the overall time that it takes to ready your M14 in order to make it shoot a bullet is very slow. In fact, it's kind of like one of those smooth transition ones. If you see me pull out my M14 a bit here like that, it actually won't fire for, I think, about maybe 2 seconds after you first draw the M14. So keep that in mind. Make sure you have the M14 out well before you know your first battle is going to come along. So that's that. Moving on to the center speed. The center speed is very slow for the M14. As you can see, if you guys see me spray with the M14, you guys can see, if you guys can see it spread, guys would see that the spread is going to take a long time, comparatively so to other assault rifles, to go back to its original position. So center speed is not very good at all for the M14. Now moving on to the reload speed. The reload speed for the M14 is actually very fast. That's to compensate for the fact that it only starts with 20 bullets in the magazine. So, I mean, that's just a balancing issue. And also the M14 in real life didn't really have more than 20 bullets anyway, so. Moving on to the fire modes. The fire modes, like I mentioned before, it starts off every single game by default single fire. So if you want to use it on full auto, always make sure that you tap F or whatever your key binding is to change the fire mode toggle thing, whatever. So it'll always start with single fire, and make sure you have full auto on the M14, because preferably you want to have full auto, because I mean I don't see you doing much with the single fire option anyway. So once again, it has single fire and full auto available. Now moving on to the luck. I'm not really lucky with the M14. I can see how you can go for headshots a lot of times because of its 90 accuracy, but I never really attempted it myself, so I don't suggest you do it either. Moving on to the ammo capacity. It has an ammo capacity of 20 rounds in the magazine, and I want to say 60 in reserve. So I have an extended mag 1 on this, so I start with 30 in the magazine and 50 in reserve. And also, the reload speed is very fast, even without even with an extended mag on it. So I'm not too sure about an extended mag 2, but we'll see. I guess you guys can try it on your own. Moving on to the key physical characteristics. I mean, it looks like a battle rifle, right? And also, do keep in mind that the gun model in game is very long for the M14. In fact, I think it's as long as a sniper rifle. So if you're trying to like hide around corners, make sure to stare down or pull out something else when you do so, because people are going to see your long barrel of the M14. So you don't want to give your position away because of your M14. Now moving on to the muzzle noise. The muzzle noise is a very low frequency and relatively quiet. I don't think you need a suppressor on this. Muzzle noise that sounds really deep and it goes like douche, 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 douche. So yeah, I like it firing that noise a lot. So that's just me though. Attachment options, you can attach any kind of modification on this, so that's that. Fire team and quarantine worthy, I wouldn't say this is fire team worthy because the ammo capacity is just too low, and even though it is very powerful, I wouldn't suggest it really. Just personal preference though, so if you guys really like using M14 while fire teaming, then I don't really care what you do. For quarantine, I wouldn't recommend it at all. Just no. Too low ammo and really slow portability, it's just gonna fuck your day up. And my frank personal opinions. I'm gonna be running out of time here, so I'm gonna go over my frank personal opinions in the next episode featuring the M14 camo, and also the final rating will also be on the M14 camo video. So hope you guys have enjoyed the M14 episode, and I don't know what my final score is here, but I guess you guys can check it out by yourselves and then this video. So once again, guys, the M14 is a very interesting gun. I do suggest you guys try it out, but it is not noob friendly at all. So do keep that in mind, and you've been warned. If you use this and you don't do very well, don't blame me. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next episode featuring the M14 camo.